The stars were silent that night. Quiet emptiness spread across the observation deck of the human exploration ship Horizon Star. Commander Elias Cade leaned against the rail, watching the endless streaks of light as the ship moved faster than most civilizations could imagine. Yet, despite the speed, he felt the weight of time pressing on him. A distress signal had reached Earth weeks ago, but it was unlike anything they had encountered before. Dr. Mira Solis, the chief scientist, stood near the console, eyes wide as she analyzed the readings. "This signal, it's old, very old, but it's alive," she said. Her voice carried excitement and concern together. "I can't explain exactly how, but someone or something is still trying to send a message across light years. It's like a beacon crying for help." Elias frowned. "Old, you say? How old?" "Centuries, maybe more," Mira replied. She tapped the holographic display. "It's not coming from our galaxy alone. It's alien, extremely advanced. But the civilization seems to have fallen long ago. We're not even sure who they were." Elias straightened. "So why are we still getting it?" Mira looked thoughtful. "It's like the last echo of a civilization's hope. Whoever sent this, they didn't want to be forgotten." The Horizon Star's crew gathered in the command room. They were explorers, scientists, and engineers, humanity's pride in the age of space travel. But none had seen anything like this. Maps, star charts, and sensor data filled the room. Creating a puzzle no one could easily solve, Captain Elias Cade made a decision. "We'll follow the signal. If someone is alive, even if this is a final message, we'll find out. Humanity doesn't turn away from someone in need." Myra nodded, a spark of hope lighting her eyes. "Agreed, but be careful, Elias. This is uncharted territory. We have no idea what we'll face." The ship's engines roared to life as it changed course toward the source. Days passed. Stars blurred into long streaks outside the viewport, and the crew's routine shifted into a rhythm of anticipation and tension. They scanned for danger, for signs of life, and for anything that could tell them the story behind the signal. Then they saw it. A planet hung silently in the void. Its surface was scarred, craters and jagged mountains breaking the landscape. Smoke rose from several regions, twisting into black tendrils that reached toward space. There were ruins, vast structures that once held grandeur. The crew felt a shiver. It was clear this planet had seen war, loss, and abandonment. Yet something about it called to them like a whisper from the past. Mira scanned the readings. The signal. It's coming from there, somewhere inside the ruins. Whoever or whatever sent it is still present, but it's faint. We'll need to land and search carefully. Elias gave the order. "Prepare the landing team. We go down in small groups. We stay cautious. We stay together." The landing was tense. The planet's atmosphere was thin but breathable, a strange mix of alien gases that irritated the crew's lungs slightly. The ruins were vast, towering, spires of unknown metal, crumbling walls, and broken bridges. The signs of destruction told a story of conflict. Scattered around were personal traces, small artifacts, devices, and even carvings that hinted at a sophisticated and emotional civilization as they explored. The team noticed signs of life for the shadow of it. Footprints led toward a central structure, a palace-like building that had once been magnificent. This is where the Queen lived," Mira whispered, awe in her voice. "The one who ruled this planet before everything fell apart." Elias frowned. "A queen?" "Yes. Legends recorded in some alien data we recovered from previous probes speak of a leader, powerful and wise. She had a daughter, her only child. During a great war, the daughter vanished. No one knew what happened to her." The crew exchanged glances. A missing daughter. And now a signal calling them here? Could it be her? Mira approached a large doorway partly collapsed. "It's possible. If this is her, she might be alive. Somehow." Elias placed a hand on her shoulder. "Then we find her. That's our mission now." The interior of the palace was eerie. Light filters through cracks in the walls, creating beams that danced over broken floors. Strange machines lay dormant, covered in dust and time. Holographic. Displays flickered occasionally, as if struggling to remember the past. The crew moved carefully, scanning for life signs. After hours of searching, they found it, a small chamber, hidden beneath rubble, with a faint energy reading. The signal's source. Inside, they discovered personal items, a pendant, a small music device, and a worn book filled with symbols that seemed almost alive. The readings were faint, but steady. It wasn't much, but it was enough to suggest that the daughter might have been here, or that someone left these messages hoping she would return. Mira picked up the pendant, examining it closely. This is a gift. A personal item, perhaps from her mother. Whoever left it wanted someone to find it. Elias nodded, and that someone is us. They set up camp near the ruins for the night. The alien planet was quiet but not empty. Strange sounds echoed. In the distance, whispers of wind over metallic ruins, or perhaps creatures still hiding. The crew slept lightly, alert to every noise, yet a sense of purpose filled the air as the night deepened. Mira examined the pendant under the soft light of her portable scanner. Suddenly it activated, projecting a holographic image. Young girl appeared, bright eyes, long flowing hair, wearing a small crown. The image flickered, but was unmistakably alive. She's beautiful, Mira whispered, tears forming in her eyes. And she looks like someone who is waiting to be found. Leah stared at the projection. Do you think this is her? The daughter? Mira nodded slowly. I think she's sending us a message. It's not for anyone else, only for someone brave enough to find it. It's a call for help. It's a reunion. The crew realized that their mission had just changed. They were no longer explorers. They were guardians of hope. The daughter's fate now rested in their hands, and perhaps somewhere far across the stars. The queen still waited, unaware that the universe was about to bring her child back. The next morning, they prepared for the next phase, tracking the signal across the galaxy, following the faint traces that technology and skill could reveal. But even as they plotted their course, none of them could predict the challenges ahead: hostile alien factions, treacherous space storms, and the emotional weight of a reunion that had been delayed for generations. Yet for humanity, this was never a question of danger. It was a question of doing what was right. And as the Horizon Star lifted from the scarred planet, heading toward the unknown reaches of space, a small voice seemed to echo across the cosmos. A whisper carried on a signal older than most civilizations. A message meant to bring mother and daughter together. Elias Cade watched the stars, feeling a mixture of fear and determination. We will find her, he said softly. No matter what it takes, we will bring her home. Mira smiled, hope shining in her eyes. And when we do, we will see the true power of humanity. Not in weapons or conquest, but in care, courage, and the will to help those who cannot help themselves. The journey had begun, across the dark stretches of space, through danger and despair. Humans were about to change the lives of two alien souls forever, and somewhere, far beyond the visible stars. A queen waited, unaware that her child was closer than she could ever imagine. The Horizon Star glided silently through the dark expanse of space. Stars streaked past the viewport like silver ribbons, yet the crew's attention was fixed on the flickering readings of the mysterious signal. Every pulse, every faint echo, held the promise of the missing daughter. Dr. Mirasolis worked tirelessly, scanning the data and adjusting the ship's sensors. The signal is weak, but stable, she said, rubbing her eyes. It's like she's hiding, or someone is keeping her safe. We need to be careful. Whatever force is around her, it's powerful enough to prevent detection by normal methods. Commander Elias Cade leaned over her shoulder, studying the holographic map. Then we'll do it the hard way. Humans don't give up. We track it, step by step, system by system, until we find her. Their journey took them across uncharted sectors. Nebulae of pink and purple gas swirled around distant suns, and asteroid belts stretched like jagged scars across empty space. The crew navigated carefully, relying on both experience and human intuition. Sensors beeped constantly, but the signal grew stronger as they approached a dim orange sun. Suddenly alarms blared. Pirates! Shouted Lieutenant Dara Kean, the ship's tactical officer. They've spotted us. Incoming fighters from the nearby system? Elias moved quickly, issuing commands. Evasive maneuvers? Shields up. Keep the course steady. Don't let them break the signal lock. The Horizon Star twisted and rolled through space, dodging blasts from the alien raiders. Humanity's ingenuity shone in those tense moments. Instead of relying on raw firepower, the crew used the ship's environment, asteroids as shields, nebulae to hide from sensors, and sudden course shifts to confuse enemies, divert power to the shields, and send out a false signal. Mira suggested. They'll chase the ghost, not us. Elias nodded, impressed. Do it. The plan worked. The raiders followed the decoy, and the humans slipped past, the ship's engines humming quietly once more. Relief filled the crew, but no one relaxed too much. Every system they crossed brought new risks. Days later, they arrived at a small, icy planet at the edge of a forgotten system. The signal pulsed stronger here, guiding them toward a narrow valley surrounded by jagged cliffs. The daughter's presence was unmistakable, yet she remained hidden. Myra studied the readings. She's alive. Definitely alive, but she's with others. Nomadic alien people. She might not remember everything about her past, and she might not trust us. Elias frowned. Then we have to earn that trust. No tricks, no force. Just honesty and care. They prepared the landing craft carefully. The surface was rough and slippery, coated in ice and frost. Winds howled down the valley, carrying strange, haunting sounds that made the team uneasy. Yet they pressed on, determined as they moved closer. They saw the group the daughter was with, the small band of alien nomads, tall and graceful, with shimmering skin and eyes that reflected the icy landscape. Their clothes were simple but functional, made for survival in harsh conditions. They noticed the humans and immediately became defensive, forming a protective circle around a figure in the center. The figure was young, her hair flowing like silver light, eyes bright and alert. She looked at the humans with curiosity, but also fear. Something in her posture told the crew she was the one they were looking for. Elias stepped forward slowly, hands raised to show peace. "We are not here to hurt you," he said. "We've come to help." The daughter's eyes narrowed. "Who are you?" she demanded in a language the humans could barely understand. Mira activated a translation device. The words became clear. "We are humans," Mira said gently. "We received a signal, a message from someone important. We believe you are that someone. We want to help you return home." The daughter studied them carefully. She sensed sincerity, but years of survival had taught her to distrust strangers. "Why should I believe you?" she asked. Mira knelt slightly, offering the pendant they had found on the ruined planet. "Because this belongs to you. It was left for you to guide you back. We found it, and we found you. We can take you home safely." For a long moment, the daughter remained silent. Her eyes flicked to the pendant, and memories fragmented and hazy surfaced. A mother's smile, a lullaby, a hand held tightly. She had thought those moments lost forever. Now somehow they were reaching her again. Slowly, she stepped forward. "Home? You mean my mother?" Elias nodded. "Yes, your mother is waiting, and humanity will help you reach her." The nomads watched silently, tense and unsure, but did not intervene. They had survived by keeping distance from outsiders. But there was something about the humans that spoke of trust and courage. The daughter finally agreed to come with them, though she insisted the nomads accompany her at first. "I cannot abandon them," she said. "They have been my family." Elias smiled. "Then they can come too. Everyone deserves a chance to be safe." The journey to the Horizon Star was cautious. The daughter observed humanity's ways closely. She was curious about their technology, their methods, and most of all, their care for life. Unlike the raiders or hostile factions she had encountered, humans did not see her as a tool or a prize. They treated her with respect, offering food, warmth, and comfort. At night, as they rested in the ship's observation deck, Mira spoke softly. "Do you remember your childhood?" she asked. The daughter shook her head. Fragments. A smile, a hand, a voice. But the war. It erased almost everything. I remember fear more than anything else. Myra placed a hand gently on hers. Memory can return slowly. And sometimes, the heart remembers what the mind forgets. Your mother? She has not given up on you. And neither have we. The daughter's eyes glistened. For the first time in years, hope filled her heart. She had wandered alone, surviving, fearing that reunion was impossible. Now, with humans guiding her, it seemed real. Days passed. The ship's journey continued through strange and dangerous regions. They encountered asteroid storms that threatened to tear the ship apart, gravitational anomalies that distorted navigation, and strange radiation fields that interfered with communication. Yet through every challenge, the crew worked together, using clever tactics, teamwork, and human ingenuity to overcome obstacles. During one particularly tense moment, the daughter witnessed Elias personally guide the ship through a narrow asteroid field. The craft danced between massive rocks, shields glowing as they deflected debris. Humans. They think differently, she whispered to Myra. They don't just fight or run. They think, they adapt. It's remarkable. Amira smiled. Yes, that is humanity. We survive not by strength alone, but by courage, creativity, and care. Now, by the time they neared the outer edge of the nomadic system, the daughter felt a sense of belonging. Not just with the humans, but with the idea that she could return to her mother. She had survived alone for so long, but now, for the first time, she allowed herself to hope. Yet the crew knew the hardest part lay ahead. The path home would not be easy. Factions that had once hunted the daughter still existed, and the Queen's planet was far from safe. The reunion they all dreamed of could be threatened at any moment. Elias gathered the crew. We have her trust. That is more important than any technology or weapon. But we must remain vigilant. Our mission is far from over. We will protect her, guide her, and bring her home. Humanity does not abandon those in need. The daughter, listening quietly, felt a warmth she had not felt in years. She had been alone, wandering through life like a shadow, but now she had allies. And not just any allies, humans, who faced danger not for power or glory, but because it was the right thing to do, as the horizon stars slipped into faster-than-light travel. Leaving the icy planet and its nomads behind, the daughter looked out at the stars. Somewhere among them was her mother, waiting, perhaps not knowing that her child had survived. But now, thanks to humanity, the distance between them was closing. And for the first time in years, she whispered to herself, Maybe I will see her again. The horizon star moved through space like a silent shadow, carrying its precious passenger closer to the daughter's mother. Yet the stars around them were not safe. Space, beautiful as it was, held dangers that no one could ignore. Meteors, rogue satellites, and remnants of old wars threatened every journey. But humans had a way of turning obstacles into opportunities. The daughter watched the crew work. She marveled at how humans solve problems with logic and creativity rather than brute force. When an asteroid storm loomed ahead, the crew did not panic. Sensors flashed warnings, and the navigation team calculated angles faster than she could understand. Hold steady, Elias called. We'll pass through this. Watch and learn. The ship tilted, engines flaring as it threaded between the massive rocks. Shields glowed red when small fragments struck the hull. Sparks flew inside the control panels, but the crew remained calm. Mira and the engineers rerouted power, while Elias guided the ship through the narrowest gaps. The daughter felt a thrill she had not felt in years. Humans, they do not fear the impossible. They face it, she whispered to herself. She realized that this journey was not just about returning home, it was about witnessing. Courage in its purest form. After hours of careful maneuvering, the storm passed. The crew cheered quietly, careful not to disturb their passenger too much. Elias smiled at the daughter. See? Problems exist to be solved. We don't run from them. She nodded, admiration shining in her eyes. I have never seen anyone do that before. Not like this. But the dangers were far from over. As they exited the asteroid field, sensors detected movement, a fleet of hostile ships closing in, fast and silent. They were remnants of the same alien factions that had attacked the nomadic planet. Humans had faced them before, but never with a passenger so important. Evasive maneuvers, Elias shouted, and keep the signal active. We cannot lose her. The daughter clutched the pendant around her neck. Its faint glow seemed to give her courage. For the first time, she understood why her mother had given it to her. It was not just a guide, but a symbol of hope. The battle began, but it was different from anything she expected. The humans did not rush into direct fire. Instead, they used clever tricks, splitting their ship into ghost projections, creating decoy energy pulses, and drawing the enemy into asteroid belts where the humans had the advantage. Look at them, the daughter said softly. They fight, but they protect. They do not harm without reason. Mira nodded. That is humanity. We value life, all life. Even those who oppose us can survive if we can find another way. Hours passed, and the human skill finally won. The enemy ships retreated, unable to predict the humans' tactics. The daughter felt a mixture of awe and relief. She realized that humans were not just brave, they were smart, resourceful, and compassionate. After the battle, the ship's journey continued through quiet space. The daughter began to ask questions. Tell me about my mother, she said one evening, as stars streamed past the VIEWPORT. Bortop Mira smiled gently. She is strong, wise, and loved you very much. Even when she could not find you, she never gave up hope. The daughter's eyes filled with tears. I remember a little, a lullaby, a smile, but it feels like a dream. I was too young to understand. You will understand again, Myra said softly. Memory can return slowly, like a river finding its path, and your heart remembers more than your mind does. The daughter thought about that as she watched the stars. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of connection, both to her mother and to the humans who risked everything to bring her home. Their path soon took them near a gravity well, a swirling mass of energy that could destroy any ship that entered it. Many civilizations had avoided this region, but the daughter's homeworld lay beyond it. Elias studied the navigation charts. It's risky, but we can do it. Humans have faced worse. Stay calm and trust us. The ship's engines roared as they entered the gravity well. The vessel tilted and shook, alarms flashing everywhere. The daughter gripped a railing, fear mixing with excitement. Yet again, she saw humanity's strength not in weapons, but in courage and planning. Myra guided her gently. Watch the crew. Every move is calculated. Nothing is left to chance. Humans adapt. The ship emerged safely, battered but intact. The daughter let out a long breath she hadn't realized she was holding. I think I understand now. Humans are more than what I imagined. They are heroes, not because of power, but because of heart. Elias smiled. That's right. And we will protect you until you are safely home. But space was not done testing them. Shortly after, a strange anomaly appeared, a field of unstable energy that interfered with navigation and communication. The ship's instruments went haywire. Every attempt to bypass the anomaly failed. The daughter watched in silence as the crew worked tirelessly, adjusting shields, rerouting power, and using creative solutions to stabilize the ship. It was not Lakit was intelligence, patience, and teamwork, Myra explained. This is a dangerous place, but humans are persistent. We do not give up. We adapt and we overcome. Hours turned into a day, and the anomaly finally passed. The crew cheered, but the daughter felt a deeper realization. Humanity was not just about surviving danger. They were about finding hope in impossible situations, about caring enough to try when others might turn away. During a quiet moment, the daughter asked, "Why do you help me?" "You do not know me. You do not know my mother." Elias looked at her with gentle determination. "Because it is right. Because someone needs help, and humans do not turn away from that need. That is who we are. We protect, we care, we act. The daughter felt warmth fill her chest. For years, she had wandered alone, trusting no one. Now, humans had shown her that courage and compassion could exist even in the darkest reaches of space. As they neared the daughter's home system, attention rose. Sensors picked up faint traces of enemy ships' remnants, of factions that had once torn the galaxy apart. The humans prepared for one last challenge. Elias addressed the crew. "We are almost there. Our mission is clear. Protect her at all costs. Use your mind, your skill, and your heart. Humanity's strength is not in our weapons. It is in our courage, our intelligence, and our willingness to act." The daughter listened quietly, feeling a surge of hope. She realized that, for the first time in her life, she was not alone. Humanity had become her ally, her guide, and her protector. And soon, she would see her mother again as the horizon star moved into the final stretch of the journey. The daughter whispered to herself, "Home. I am coming home, and somewhere far across the stars." A queen, unaware that her daughter had survived, continued to hope. Waiting for a reunion that was closer than she could imagine. The journey had been dangerous, full of challenges, but humanity had shown that courage, intelligence, and care could overcome even the darkest obstacles. And soon, that courage would bring two alien souls together, reuniting mother and daughter after years of separation. The daughter watched the stars, her heart full of anticipation. The end of her long journey was near, and she felt for the first time in years that she belonged, not just with humans, but with her mother and with the hope of a future they could build together. The horizon star approached the daughter's home system. From space, the planet looked battered, its surface scarred by years of conflict. Smoke and ash still rose from broken cities, yet even in ruin, the planet held beauty. Mountains glimmered. In sunlight, and rivers reflected the faint glow of alien skies. The daughter leaned against the viewport, her eyes wide. I cannot believe it. My home, it is so broken." Mira placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "It is, but there is still hope. We will get you to your mother, and together, things can begin to heal." Elias studied the readings. "We need to be careful. Enemy factions still occupy parts of the planet. They may try to stop us. Cannot risk your daughter or the humans who came to help her." The landing plan was precise. The humans could not rely on brute force. They needed strategy, timing, and creativity. They chose a remote landing site near the Queen's palace, hoping to avoid enemy patrols. As the ship descended, the planet's atmosphere crackled with energy. Turbulent weather and shifting magnetic fields made navigation difficult. Elias guided the horizon star with steady hands, moving between lightning storms and sudden gusts of wind. Finally, the landing gear touched down. The craft shuddered, but it held firm. The daughter stepped onto the planet's surface for the first time in years. The air smelled of ash and rain, a strange mixture of destruction and life. She looked toward the horizon, where the ruins of the palace stood tall, partially intact. "Home," she whispered. The humans and the daughter moved carefully toward the palace. Enemy patrols patrolled the area, but humans relied on stealth, using shadows, terrain, and distraction techniques to move without being detected. The daughter stayed close to Mira, learning how humans used thought and planning to protect life instead of causing destruction. Finally, they reached the palace gates. Broken statues and shattered walls surrounded them, but the structure still held its former majesty. It was a reminder of the Queen's former glory and strength. Mira whispered, "We are close." Inside, the Queen waited. She had spent years trying to rebuild what was lost, yet the emptiness of her daughter's absence remained. She stood in the central hall, adorned in ceremonial robes, regal even in her solitude. A soft energy reading signaled the presence of someone approaching the daughter. The Queen turned instinctively, sensing a familiar presence. Her heart raced. Could it be? Suddenly, the doors opened, revealing the daughter, standing tall yet hesitant. Time seemed to freeze. The daughter's eyes widened as she saw the Queen, and the queen's eyes filled with tears. "Mama," the daughter whispered, her voice trembling. The queen took a step forward, unable to speak. Years of longing, fear, and hope rushed through her at once. Finally, she opened her arms. "My child, you're alive." The daughter ran into her mother's embrace, tears flowing freely. The humans and the nomads watched quietly, giving space for this long-awaited reunion. The queen held her daughter tightly, whispering words of love and sorrow. "It's true," the daughter said, sobbing. "Humans, they brought me back to you. I survived because of them." Elias and Mira remained at a distance, smiling softly. The humans' role was not to take credit, but to ensure the reunion happened. Their courage, skill, and care had made this possible. The queen finally pulled back slightly, studying her daughter's face. "You have grown strong even without me, humans. You risked everything to bring her back." Elias stepped forward humbly. "We did what was right. Your daughter needed help. Humanity protects those in need, no matter the danger." The queen's eyes filled with awe and gratitude. I am honored. You have shown a kindness and bravery I have never known," Mira added gently. "It is our way. Life is precious, and every connection matters. We could not turn away." The daughter looked between her mother and the humans. "They are amazing. They never gave up on me, even when the path was dangerous and uncertain. I owe my life to them." The queen's heart swelled, and we must honor them, not just for bringing you back, but for teaching us hope. Perhaps humanity can help us rebuild. The reunion brought more than emotion, it brought understanding. The daughter shared stories of her journey, of the nomads who protected her, and of the humans who faced every danger to bring her home. The queen listened intently, absorbing every word. The humans explained the challenges they faced: asteroid storms, hostile factions, gravity wells, and unstable energy fields. The queen marveled at their ingenuity. "You fought with intelligence, courage, and care, not just weapons. That is remarkable." The daughter nodded. "Yes, they are not like anyone I have ever known. They fight to protect, not to conquer. I have learned much from them." The queen embraced her daughter once more. "Then you have seen the true strength of humanity, and now, together, we can begin to restore what was lost. With your courage, their guidance, and my leadership, we can rebuild." The reunion also brought attention from others. Citizens and allies who had survived the conflicts gathered cautiously, observing the humans and the daughter. Many were skeptical at first, but when they heard the story of humanity's actions, they began to understand. Humans had not come to dominate or control, they had come to help. Slowly, respect replaced suspicion. Aliens began to offer aid, inspired by the humans' example. Where once there was fear and distrust, hope started to grow. The queen walked through the palace with her daughter, showing her the rooms, the artifacts, and the halls where memories lingered. The daughter marveled at the beauty in history, feeling both sorrow for the destruction and joy for the chance to return. Mira and Elias observed quietly. They had completed their mission, but they knew their work was far from over. Helping to rebuild trust, sharing knowledge, and guiding the civilization required patience and understanding. Yet they were ready. Humanity thrived in challenges that required intelligence, empathy, and courage. That night, the daughter and the queen sat together, looking out over the ruins of the city. The daughter rested her head on her mother's shoulder. "I have been lost for so long, but now I feel a home." The queen kissed her forehead. "You are home, and we will make it stronger than before. Together." Outside, humans and nomads prepared to depart, but the bond they had formed with the daughter and the queen would remain. The humans had proven that courage, intelligence, and care could change lives even across stars and alien worlds. Elias spoke softly to Mira as they prepared to leave. "Look at them. They are stronger now because of us. Humanity has made a difference." Mira smiled. "Yes. Not by conquering or forcing, but by protecting, guiding, and believing. That is our power." The daughter watched the humans leave, a deep sense of gratitude in her heart. She had found her mother, and she had learned a lesson she would never forget. Courage and care could bridge worlds, wounds, and bring hope where there was none. The queen turned to her daughter. Humanity is a gift. Never forget their courage, their kindness, and their strength. The daughter nodded. I will remember. And one day, we will share what they taught us with others. We can rebuild, and we can honor them every step of the way. As the Horizon Star departed, leaving the planet and its reborn hope behind, the daughter held her mother's hand tightly. The journey had been long and dangerous, but the reunion proved that no distance, no enemy, and no obstacle could prevent a child from returning to her mother, especially when guided by the courage and care of humanity. The stars stretched out before them, endless and bright, and for the first time in years, the daughter and her mother felt that the future, though uncertain, could be filled with light, hope, and a new beginning. The sun rose over the alien planet, painting the scarred lands in warm hues of gold and orange. Where destruction had once reigned, there was now movements, slow, careful, but full of hope. The daughter and her mother, the alien queen, walked among the ruins. Discussing plans for rebuilding their civilization, the daughter looked around at the remnants of buildings and streets. It feels impossible, she said. So much is gone. How can we restore it? Her mother smiled, a mixture of pride and determination in her eyes. We start small. One building, one community at a time. And we do not stand alone. Humanity has shown us that help can come from beyond our stars. Their courage and care give us a model for rebuilding and a reason to hope. Myra and Elias had returned to observe from a distance, assisting when needed but never taking over. Humanity's role was guidance, not domination. They offered advice, technology, and strategies for reconstruction while respecting the autonomy of the alien civilization. The daughter approached a damaged school building, pointing to its collapsed walls. We can repair this first. Children need a place to learn and to dream again. Elias nodded. Education is the foundation of a strong society. You rebuild their minds as much as their homes. The humans also helped train the Queen's people in advanced energy management, agriculture, and medical techniques. Their methods were not invasive. They taught, shared knowledge, encouraged the aliens to adapt these skills to their own culture. Slowly, hope spread among the citizens. One day, a group of former soldiers approached the Queen. They had once fought against her forces, but witnessing the humans' actions and the return of the daughter had changed their perspective. We want to help, one said. We see now that strength is not in conquering, but in protecting and rebuilding. The Queen nodded, gratitude in her eyes. Then your strength is welcome. Together, we can restore what was lost. The daughter watched, her heart swelling. Humanity had done more than return her to her mother. They had inspired peace and unity. Aliens who once fought each other now worked side by side, rebuilding homes and repairing cities. The Queen's daughter smiled at Mira and Elias when they visited, saying quietly, "Your people have shown us what courage and kindness can achieve. We will never forget it." As weeks passed, the planet transformed. New buildings rose beside repaired ones, gardens flourished where ashes had lain, and families reunited after years apart. The Queen addressed her people, standing proudly with her daughter by her side. "Today," she said, her voice steady and strong, "we begin a new era. We rebuild not just with our hands, but with our hearts. And we remember the humans who guided us, who showed us that hope is always possible." Even in the darkest times, citizens cheered. Inspired by the story of humanity's courage and the reunion that had sparked a brighter future, the daughter felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had returned to her mother, witnessed the restoration of her people, and learned the power of care, courage, and intelligence. The Queen pulled her daughter aside one evening. "Look at what has been achieved. None of this would have been possible without humans. We owe them more than gratitude. We owe them our promise to honor their example." The daughter nodded. "Yes, Mama, and we will. We will teach our people that courage, care, and unity are the true strength of any civilization. Humanity had not stayed for long. Their mission had been completed. The daughter was safely returned. Peace was restored, and the aliens had hope for a future of their own making. Yet their impact lingered. The queen and her daughter worked tirelessly, spreading the lessons they had learned from humans' collaboration, problem-solving, and compassion as guiding principles for their people. As the Horizon Star departed, the daughter and her mother stood on a hill overlooking the city. The planet, once a place of sorrow and loss, now shimmered with new life. Children played in the streets, families rebuilt homes, and gardens bloomed where rubble had lain. The daughter whispered to her mother, "I never imagined I could feel this. Hope again. Humanity gave me that." The queen placed a hand on her daughter's shoulder, "And now we share that hope. Not only have they brought you back to me, but they have shown us all a path forward. We will not waste it." Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The planet's recovery accelerated. The queen's people began to rebuild their culture, arts, and traditions. The daughter became a respected figure, blending her mother's wisdom with the lessons learned from humans. Together, they created councils to guide communities, restore resources, ensure that no one would feel abandoned again. The nomads who had protected the daughter during 3 years away also settled, contributing their knowledge and resilience. The queen welcomed them fully, creating bonds that had been impossible before. And everywhere, the story of humanity's bravery and compassion spread. Humans were no longer distant strangers. They were symbols of hope and unity. One evening, as the daughter and her mother looked at the stars, the daughter spoke softly. "Do you think they know how much they changed our world?" The queen smiled, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "I believe they do not need to know. What matters is that they did. Their actions will be remembered in every life we touch, in every stone we lay, and in every child who learns to hope again." The daughter nodded, feeling a sense of purpose she had never known before. Humanity had given her a chance to live, to reunite with her mother, and to help rebuild a civilization. She would carry that lesson forever. As night fell, the queen and her daughter stood together on the palace balcony, overlooking the city below. Fires of restoration glowed warmly, lighting up the streets where children laughed and families gathered. The daughter rested her head on her mother's shoulder, feeling a sense of belonging she had never experienced. "Thank you," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "Not just for bringing me home, but for showing me that hope exists, even after everything we have lost." The queen embraced her tightly. "You are home now, and we will build a future worthy of that hope, together." Far across the galaxy, the humans aboard the Horizon Star watched the planet shrink in the distance. Elias and Mira exchanged a quiet smile. Their mission was over, yet the memory of what they had accomplished would remain with them forever. Humanity had done what many could not. They had restored hope, united generations, and shown that courage and care could bridge even the deepest gaps between worlds. Elias spoke softly, almost to himself. "This is why we explore, why we help. Because every life matters, and every act of courage can change the course of history." Mira nodded. "And because sometimes we are the bridge that brings lost families together. Across stars, across time." The Horizon Star continued its journey, leaving the alien planet behind, but the legacy of its crew endured. The queen and her daughter worked tirelessly, rebuilding not only structures, but hearts, communities, and the bonds between their people. Humanity's example became a guiding principle, reminding all that courage, empathy, and intelligence could triumph over despair. The daughter looked out at the horizon one last time before turning to her mother. "Mama, I'm ready to help rebuild. With you, with our people, and with everything I have learned." Queen smiled, holding her daughter's hand firmly. "Then we begin a new dawn. Our world is wounded, but we will heal it together, and we will honor the humans who reminded us that hope is never lost." And so, under alien skies, a new era began. The scars of the past remained, but the bond between mother and daughter, and the lessons learned from humanity, promised a brighter, stronger future. The daughter had returned, civilization had been inspired, and humanity's courage had left an everlasting mark, a reminder that, even across the stars, care, courage, and determination could unite worlds. The planet was alive with possibility, and the future, once uncertain, now shone with the light of hope.